The following video contains spoilers. We suggest watching the episodes alone in the dark.
Kitty Doo, where are you? Rover here!
Heyo, Wolfpack, Cat's back, and ready to slash another horror with our beloved Mystery Incorporated. Yeah, they did another bumper event.
Well, I like it. Let's do it again!
Okay!
After the smash hit known as the Scooby-Doo project, Cartoon Network desired another taste of that sweet money. And to gain that high viewership once more, they did a second Scooby-Doo Halloween ad special, in the same vein as the mystery of the Blair Witch Saga. We got a whole new spooky arc of shorts complementing a Scooby marathon
At night.
Unfortunately, this sequel tragically did fade away into obscurity itself, as it wasn't nearly as memorable as the original horror arc, which is a darn shame, because it does have some highlights.
What you talking about, kitty?
Night of the Living Doo definitely does contain great fun and charm to call its own, but alas, it's not as good as the Scooby-Doo project. Exactly like the last commercial special, this tells a sequence of ad bumpers tied together as one long serialized arc, which played during commercial breaks in between real TV shows. It's not super long, but while it's easy to follow, it had some criticisms. It's a much smaller plot line, took some cheap shortcuts, has some more risque humor than usual, only premiered on Adult Swim so not many kids saw it, and oddly is not a parody of a big-named horror flick like the last one. Don't let the title fool you. This is not a scathing parody of Night of the Living Dead, but in reality a parody of Scooby-Doo cartoons and cliches. It's more akin to a riff on the new Scooby-Doo movies, that tune which featured Mystery Inc. meeting hot celebrity guest stars on wacky team-ups. Since this showcase is more about the gang encountering modern-day celebs and making fun of their old tropes and writing. Even hardcore Doo fans jokingly view it as a bonus episode connected to that classic show.
Today the gang meets Gary Coleman, David Cross, and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
This was certainly a choice to make, but since it was created by the previous crew behind the Boss Blair Witch parody, it does have decent quality and charm to be had. Once again, the project stars some favorite top-tier voice actors portraying the gang here. We have the cast of the Cyber Chase dubbing our certified detectives. Scott Ines returns as Scooby and Shaggy, BJ Ward's back as Velma, and Lord Megatron's back as Fred. But tragically, Mary Kay Bergman passed away around this time period, so Daphne Blake's played by her replacement actress, the best Catwoman ever, Grey DeLisle, who took up Daph's mantle, starting with Cyber Chase. So you know it's a great sign when these grand talents are back in the Mystery Machine.
Was Sarah Michelle Gellar too busy?
To their credit, our celebrity guest stars are equally as entertaining, but where the story falls a tad flat for folks is, well, the story and humor, as it's a real mixed bag. Yet considering how great the Scooby-Doo project was, maybe this is an underrated Scooby snack we missed out on as well. I said this in my previous Scoob vid, but I did not grow up with these specials, and had no clue they even existed for the longest time. I only learned of them from other critics, such as that long-haired creepy guy. Meaning this'll also be my first viewing on these, so my thoughts could land anywhere.
We should make like hockey sticks and get the puck out of here.
I've got a ton of you thinking, just what the heck even is this special? So let's begin. After all these eons, is this Halloween festivity still a Doo classic, worthy of the Core 4's greatness? Or is it another mediocre dud forgotten amongst the vast Scooby library? Grab your Scooby snacks and mine David Cross, cause we're entering this haunted house to see. This is our wacky review you on the Scooby special, Night of the Living Do. So, our movie opens up with the gang traveling across a spooky street planning to attend a horror fest, only to bump into and pick up a celebrity guest star.
It's the famous Gary Coleman.
Larry!
Look, it's Gary Coleman.
I know who I am.
Yep, Sir Gary Coleman's in this, because if there's anyone the kids these days know and love, it's Little Arnold. Exactly like on Simpsons and Drake and Josh, Coleman does a pretty funny performance acting like this sassy, bratty wisecracker, doesn't hold back on making fun of himself, and unlike the more popular guest stars the gang meet, he actually riffs the hell out of Scooby-Doo's antics. Even when they give Webster a lift, he ruins everything because he won't let them solve no mysteries or horror plots this night.
Don't worry, gang. I got you covered.
Where did that...
Back in a jiff.
Uh-oh, flat tire.
Oh, we better stop for the night.
You don't have a spare.
Afraid not.
Well, today's your lucky day.
Gary's 1,000 times funnier at holding the plot back than Return to Zombie Island.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, no problem. I think the last thing we want to do on Halloween is get caught in some spooky old amusement park. I'm having Christmas at George Clooney's house.
Coleman gets so irritating that Fred crashes the van on purpose.
Let's see the famous Gary Coleman fix that.
Zoinks! Daphne's dead!
Go!
Naturally, they stop by a spooky castle housing something far scarier than monsters.
But how are we supposed to get into the castle with that shark-infested moat around it? And ugly sharks at that.
No respect! No respect!
Who was that guy?
Oh, that's Jabberjaw.
Who?
Jabberjaw, you know, the rock star mystery-solving shark.
Who?
This guy's a cute cameo referencing the dozens of Scooby-Doo clone TV shows at the time period. As much like Teen Titans Go, Scooby-Doo was so influential upon media that we got hundreds of wannabe shows desperately mimicking its success with their own gimmicky cartoon mascots.
There were more Scooby shows?
Well, Scooby-Doo knockoffs, House. The other Scooby-Doo-ish tunes around the time include Jabberjaw the Shark Detective, who sounds like Curly Howard, Josie and the Pussycats, Johnny Quest, etc.
How many?
Captain Caveman!
What?
It's a funky phantom! The spirit of 1776 even! At your service!
Huh?
The amazing chair.
Hey!
Speed buggy.
A talking car? Preposterous!
This opening makes it loud and clear that this Scooby short's going to fall in line with a more goofy meta comedy style, which doesn't take itself seriously. Unlike the Blair Witch parody that did have some dark scares and mean-spirited jabs, it's fairly good, so long as if you can look past the cheap-ass animation. The team are very humorous, and while it does dip into a few dark jokes, this Scooby special indulges in unapologetically silly campiness, making it low-key funny.
Can't wait to eat an extra double large popcorn, super-sized soda, and jumbo chocolate bar. Me too.
You can't eat that. Chocolate is poison for dogs.
Uh-oh.
While visiting our set, they also meet the funny bro himself, David Cross, who spends his evenings being racist towards black kids.
I'm the famous David Cross.
Who?
I had a groundbreaking and critically acclaimed comedy show for 4 years.
Look, we never heard of you.
Well, he's also starred on the Kung Fu Panda saga, the Alvin and the Chipmunks films, The Office, and was the funniest character on Scary Movie 2. But his canceled comedy show, that's iconic. After bashing the black kid, Cross introduces himself as the eccentric manager of the famed Haunted Castle Hotel, welcoming the gang with open arms, especially Daphne and Velma.
You're hot!
Alas, Cross has to sell his pad off due to hauntings from zombies.
Besides, you'll be fixed and on your way in the morning.
You can really tell the voice actors had a ball recording this. Much like the last project, Mystery Inc.'s back to being over-the-top caricatures of their usual selves, leading to endless comedy platinum.
David,
Yeah.
try not to wreck it for everyone by showing us the secret passageways.
Oh, do you want me to tell you that there's a hidden switch here? Or just, like, pretend that it's a regular room?
Just don't show us where it is.
Okay, my way sure saves a lot of time.
We also meet our last major character, the obvious suspect Shifty. Yes, really. Shifty, the creepy bellhop who takes their bags and acts as a blatant parody of old school Scooby suspects.
I found this under your bed. It's somebody's diary. I'll be rich and I won't have to clean toilets
If you can
anymore.
just give me that diary, I'll...
Does that say stash the bodies or slash the bodies?
And this is pretty much our entire adventure. A grand mockery of Scooby's cheesy mysteries, overdone formulas, and all the wacky antics the gang gets into, but done in a more meta, self-deprecating comedy. The gang are all goofballs who fail at seeing major red flags. The celebrities all randomly pop up to act like this is all normal. The animation cuts corners, the gang addresses how their adventures usually play out, and Shifty's a clear red herring / very obvious creeper, to the point where we even see him unmasked without his costume. Just like the Blair do, it's appealing to hardcore Scooby fans of all ages, since most of the jokes are from fans for fans, which is all fine and dandy because it does have a sharp bite behind its witty writing, though I do have some issues with the art style. In this special, the characters are animated in a classic retro style in an effort to parody real Scooby episodes. The show's meant to invoke the 60s feel with modern humor and celebrities. Most of the scenes have the gang's animation directly rotoscoped from certain classic episodes, in some cases even completely redubbed footage. However, it kinda makes the special feel cheap. The animation's not even half as good as the Scooby-Doo projects. While the Blair Witch parody wasn't masterclass theater, it has a unique feel and cool look, since seeing our favorite Scooby characters inserted in the real world and given bizarre animatics we've never seen before made it more ambitious and creatively fun. Here, it's just the celebrities awkwardly drawn into classic Scooby scenes, redubbing the past clips, and worst of all, archive footage all throughout. I don't fully enjoy this because the animation doesn't try as hard as their literal camping trip in the woods. There's just too many awkward shots of the gang standing dead stiff, replays of old footage, janky movements which don't complement the tune, and poorly synced up voice acting. Not to mention, I don't think it's super funny, because many jokes stem from the lame animation. Everyone loved Mystery Inc. fleeing from the Blair Witch, but people barely recall David Cross trolling the gang in re-altered archive footage. To me, it simply feels like a step back in doing something more with this setup compared to its predecessor. Though, don't be bummed out by my hangups over it, since the short does atone for this thanks to some decent comedy. Because Gary Coleman's too good at cinema sins, he's removed and nobody cares. Where this entire showcase becomes the wacky hijinks of the gang and David Cross. Exploring the spooky castle leads to an abundance of riffing on Scooby tropes and really spicy adult humor. While nowhere near the same level as Velma, thank Primus, there's some surprisingly impressive blue comedy I'm amazed they got away with. Seriously, this film will constantly remind you that Daphne and Velma are hot, cracking several jokes at how fanboys long for them, from all the guys hitting on them to a pervy portrait spying on the girls. Which honestly, I approve of. We all know Daff and Velma are hot, and it's hysterical how the movie acknowledges that through PG American Pie level gags.
Let's split up.
Okay, Fred, you and Scooby check the crawl spaces. Velma, you and Shaggy go look in the swamp. Daphne, let's check the dungeons.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Cross, I usually divide the groups up.
Yeah, well, it's my castle.
Sorry, Freddy. I was aiming for Daphne.
No problem.
Hey, bros before hoes.
Well, another mystery solved.
That's a relief, huh?
Watch the hands, David.
Oh, rejected!
You're probably just tired. You're seeing things. Oh, you're right. We just need a good night's sleep.
Yoo-hoo!
I can't wait to get out of these clothes and into my jammies.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, me too. But wait, we don't have any jammies.
Yoo-hoo!
Hello, ladies. Can I get you some towels?
That would be great.
Hey, Shifty. Can you get these girls some towels?
Yes. Right away, sir.
What the fuck?
Now that's pure platinum. Sadly, for every perfect joke, we do have some little stinkers here and there. I didn't laugh at some of the jokes they drag out, since they stopped being funny the longer they held on them, such as Shifty's blooper reel, and David Cross being ableist.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, ranks! Hey, Scooby, say David Cross. Come on, boy. David Cross.
David Ross.
Raven Ross. He said Raven Ross. That's hilarious. Okay. Raven Rossy Roo. Raven Rossy Roo. Come on, boy. I'll give you a Scooby snack.
You look familiar to me. Were you in Stomp?
Unlike the first project, this one did have a few misses for me, since they indulge in way more stupid comedy. But it's saved when the plot arrives. We finally meet our monster, the zombie. Yep, the zombie from the OG series makes his comeback, playing our living dead ghoul. Remember him, kids? The zombie's a fine baddie, but my sole prob is that the short fakes us out into believing we'll see a horde of undead, but nope, just him and Zombie Coleman.
We thought you were dead.
No, I'm not dead. I'm undead.
That's great.
Well, not exactly.
A bit lame, but the Scooby Gang and David Cross act as the real selling points. The zombies attacking celebrities, but not fatally since Cross is fine.
Shaggy and Scooby said you were captured by the zombie.
The zombie? What? No, see, that's how rumors get started. I fell down the stairs.
What the fuck?
They split up, gang, where Scooby and Shag get into mischief while David Cross tries scoring with the babes.
So jealous!
The staff must have loved David Cross, since he absorbs just as much screen time as Scooby. David basically trolls the meddling kids by one-upping Fred, seizes them all, and spoiling everything.
Let's search for the hidden switch.
Oh, no sweat. It's under the corner of my Keanu Reeves poster. See? Up and down. Up and down.
This is payback for the Pirates Ahoy party pooper gang, isn't it? Though, as I said, for every golden joke, there's some odd ones mixed in here too, as the plot flies off the rails and Cross's ad-libbing can only save so much.
I bet he likes to listen to rap music. That's rap with a double V.
Right behind you!
Sure, it's a great way to unwind. Come on, David.
Your turn. Okay. Think fast. Okay, got one. Hey, how many zombies does it take to change a light bulb?
But David starts crushing on Velma because she's totally wicked.
Velma, you have saved my life.
Oh, it was nothing, David.
Boo! Velma deserves better! She's dedicated her heart to Johnny Bravo!
I took her to our favorite night spot, gazed into those wobbly eyes and said, Velma, marry me, pretty mama.
Should've known Velma was good to go. It's always the quiet ones.
Yes, we all know Velmster's hot, but Cross doesn't have that Ed Riz.
Well, Daphne, this is the end of the date.
They eventually locate Gary Coleman, but oh no, he's joined the dark side as an undead and goes feral on them.
Fresh Velma! What you talking about, Gary? What you talking about, Gary?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Gary?
Oh, that does it. It's bad enough I'm undead, but then you degrade my life by reducing it to a catchphrase.
Zoinks!
Jinkies!
Hello, Wolfpack! But before Gary can feast, they meet Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, who plays us a Scooby-Doo chase scene. Oh, and somehow they're walkers too.
We came to the castle to record our new album.
But then a mutant zombie made us undead.
So now we're pretty much eating brains.
You can eat my brains anytime.
We soon get a really cheap montage of the monsters pursuing the gang while Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's free album plays, which is okay. Not an A-tier Scooby chase, as it's a montage of old show footage with celebs digitally inserted into everything, but it's not like we were expecting Zombie Island tension. It's all zany insanity until we reach our twist ending. Shifty's a good guy who catches our monster.
Jabberjaw?
Yep, Shifty was a good guy the entire time, even when he was peeping on girls. And it was Jabberjaw all along. Why did this land shark do this? Because he's jelly.
Jabberjaw was trying to drive down the value of your castle so that he could build luxury condominiums.
Actually, I was hoping to eliminate you and the gang in your sleep. Zoinks!
Oh, Jabberjaw, you lovable, twisted deviant. Yes, in the most absurdly goofy twist, the zombie was Jabberjaw because he hates how popular and cooler Scooby's brand is. So he snapped and tried to murder them all so the kids could watch his show instead. Won't lie, it's a pretty funny twist because of how BS it is. Bonus points for how Jabberjaw's persona is still present, even when he's a bad guy.
But you forgot to say meddling kids.
And I won't! You can't make me say it! Say what? Meddling kids!
Oh, and Shifty was Mark Hamill, who arrests the shark with his Jedi authority.
Like he must have used the Force!
Oh, brother.
Oh, it's okay, Gary. I'm comfortable with my fame. Sure, it's only a small part of who I am, but that's showbiz. I'm just grateful I mean so much to so many people.
Wow, has this aged so horribly.
I'm just grateful I mean so much to so many people.
Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself.
What an asshole!
See, everybody, it wasn't a creepy old guy peeping on girls. It was the Joker peeping on girls. So, happy ending. The zombies unmasked, Jabberjaw goes to Sith prison, Cross strikes out, and mystery solved. Until Gary points out the plot holes of the garbage writing. Only for Scooby to silence him with a blowjob.
And who was the mummy? And if the zombie is Jabberjaw, why am I still undead? And furthermore... Hey, Wellman, cut it out! Out!
Oh, Scooby.
And Gary Coleman.
I don't get it.
So that's the end of Night of the Living Dew. And it's a decently lively Halloween party. Now, I can't ignore that it's not as good as the Scooby-Doo project, even at half power. But to be fair, it ain't half bad. Night of the Living Dew has a small percentage of flaws which don't ruin anything, but merely hold it back from perfection. While the idea's rad, it doesn't go far enough with its craziness, and suffers from big cons. Some of the jokes are duds. The mystery isn't at all scary. It's not trying as hard as the Woodland Nightmare did, and the retro animation isn't all that hot, since it feels like an excuse for cheap shortcuts. However, it does win you over with that much appreciated admiration of all things Dew. Contains genuinely good humor, even dirty jokes which rock, a sense of lighthearted amusement, grand voice voice talent, a nonsensical atmosphere, and a nice Halloween mystery, which is entertaining overall. I do wish it went a tad further with its wackiness, but what we got is a pretty ludicrous lampooning with enough enjoyment to feel that Scooby wonder. It has some delightful laughs and terrific concepts here and there, even zany shenanigans with the celebrities, and reminds us all why Daphne and Velma are perfect 10s. So I can recommend it as pure dumb fun, but I'll warn you that it doesn't reach the masterclass heights of the core 4, since some might not find it laugh out loud funny.
I fell down the stairs.
Personally, I'd watch it if you love the classic style of Scooby-Doo and appreciate more risque humor, especially superior in comparison to Velma. While Night of the Living Doo could have gotten away with more, those meddling kids prove that they're still groovy. So, I can find it in my cat heart to gift this bonus episode a gold skull. Almost a perfect snack, but like on the classic Scooby tale, witches are stronger than zombies. Night of the Living Doo may not be an S-rank Scooby classic, but it's still a wicked Halloween treat you'll wish to cross. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and it's high time we grant our loyal subs their own Scooby snack. I'm proud to announce that we're finally going to review the epic gem, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Wait, where'd it go? House, where's my Zombie Island disc?
Ruh-roh, you mean that wasn't a house snack? 'Cause I ate it.
Curse you, house!
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you. Woo! Scooby-Doo, where are you? Come on, Scooby, where you been? Trouble's on the loose again. Scooby, they're not gonna get you. Scrappy's gonna help you. Scooby-Doo, Shaggy's gonna help you. Scooby-Doo, and Daphne too. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby-Dooby-Doo,
You can eat my brains anytime.